Hey everybody. Hey, it's about 3 o'clock Thursday afternoon. About the same time I did the review yesterday. It's about 40 degrees cooler and rainy today. It's a pretty awful day. Winter's on its way, so I figured what better time than to break out one of the kind of beers you like in the winter. This is one I'd never seen before, I've never had before, obviously. It's from a brewery I really like, a very small family-owned brewery, the Brau Brothers, out of Lucan, Minnesota. I'm going to do their Rye Wyne Ale. I'm sure this, reading about it, it says one of the few small grains still grown in southwestern Minnesota. Malted rye is the base for this one. One-of-a-kind ale brewed and aged in tiny Lucan, Minnesota. Following a low, boy my printing's terrible, long slow fermentation, the beer is stored away in used dry whiskey barrels bought north from our friends at Templeton Rye, located in the equally tiny town of Templeton, Iowa. I have reviewed the Templeton Rye, one of my 2 whiskey reviews. You might want to check that out. I did another rye ale aged in Templeton barrels, the Boulevard Rye on Rye. Stellar beer. Hang on, let me adjust this camera a bit. There we go. It's a little better. But anyway, got a little wax oil on the top, a fancy bottle here. But it does have a cap, so let me get this off. I'm going to use my Duvel glass. I'm assuming this is like a rye barley wine. So the only thing I've got to compare it to is that Rye on Rye, which is a stellar beer, but then those of you who know Boulevard know they're a stellar brewery, so let me, oh wow, we've got a nice dark amber, almost ruby red, just a hint of light coming through. Got 2 fingers of it, just a really creamy looking, slightly off-white, almost tan head. Surprisingly, this is an 11% beer. So surprisingly, it's got that much head, and it seems to be like it's going to stick around a little bit too. But I like this brewery. I've liked all their beers so far. And anyway, let me get a nose on this. Oh wow, I'm getting that Templeton rye whiskey right away. Getting a lot of the spices from the rye. Nice. Nice rye spiciness there. Mostly the rye and the sweet and the sweet rye and the whiskey, or maybe just a hint of caramel and toffee. I'm getting just a little oak and vanilla from the barrels, but good smelling beer. But it's primarily just the whiskey and the rye malts. Good smelling beer, so let me give it a taste. Oh wow, you get that whiskey right up front. You're also getting that's again the spicy rye, light sourness probably from the rye. I don't know what they use for other ingredients in this for hops and stuff. A little bit about the brewery. It's out in their barn. It's a small family-owned business, like they say on all the bottles. Lucan, Iowa, population 220. It says extremely small. Each batch we brew nets only about 200 cases. Because of this, it takes many batches of Brau Bros Beer to satisfy Southwest Minnesota's beer drinkers. Our brewery hums 7 days a week. Our tiny footprint means every square foot must be used efficiently. 10 fermenters guard the brew house with a modest 15-barrel brewing system as a centerpiece. Outside, the largest hop yard in the upper Midwest is flanked to the north by our own estate barley field. They do that Forgotten Phlegm farmhouse ale, all their own ingredients. Another stellar beer. I mean, I'm impressed with these people. Moo Juice, their oatmeal milk stout is one of my top 5 beers for sure. But I am getting some alcohol on this. It's fairly well mastered on the taste. You do get a little burn going down, but I'm getting the rye, getting the caramel, getting the toffee. I'm getting the oak, a little bit of vanilla from the barrels. Stellar tasting beer. It's got a medium feel. I think there's a little dryness maybe from the barrel aging. The finish leaves an extremely dry palate, but it's a medium to medium heavy feel, decent carbonation. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Besides being cold and rainy today, it's pretty windy. My hat blew away. It was out in the... It blew off the table here, went out in the rain. I had to go retrieve it before it got totally soaked. But so far, this is a darn stellar beer. Like I said, it's in the low 40s right now, so it's not going to warm up much, but let me sit and savor on this, and I'll be back after a while with the final thoughts and grade. Okay, I'm back. It's been, half an hour or so. It hadn't warmed up a ton. Like I said, it's cold today. It's in the 40s. Supposed to get down to, they say it'd probably be about 32 tonight. It's just going to get colder all week, so it's time for these are really the winter warmers. Some of those beers they call winter warmers are not, 5% ABV is not a winter warmer. 11% good rye ale, aged in whiskey barrels. Overall, this is a decent beer, right? It's not as good as the Boulevard beer, which I thought was stellar, but it's darn good. It's warmed up a little bit. Like I said, not much. That alcohol has really come out quite a bit. I think this is one that needs to maybe lay down for a few months or a year. Unfortunately, I only picked up one bottle, but I'm going to try to get at least a couple other bottles and set them back to age for a while. But this is darn good if I can still get them. This says 2011, but I don't know. This is sort of somewhere between a rye beer and a barley wine. It's not quite a barley wine, but it's still a damn nice, good drinking beer. Right now, the whiskey sort of, now that's warmed up some, the whiskey sort of overpowers the rye in it, and that's about all you're getting right now. But I think in time, if I get another, hopefully get lucky enough to get another bottle, the alcohol will smooth out a little bit and be easier to drink. But I may even pick up a couple if I can find them. One for 6 months and one for a year. Right now, this incarnation, I don't know how new this is. I don't see any brewing date on this at all, but it does say 2011. So it's got a few months on it, but I think it maybe needs a few months more. But anyway, I'm going to give this a good solid 9 out of 10. I think with some age on it, it might be a 10. Till next time, everybody, cheers. Let's keep drinking good beer.